It is time, however, to bring in our guest. We've got one of our good friends, Eddie Lack, joining the show today. Eddie, we can hear you now. Talk to me, baby. How you doing?
If this is the same producer that fucked me on my goalie ranking a year ago, I'm not sad about it.
That was who was that? Was that Red?
Fortunately, it's not. I think it was Redmond. Yeah, Redmond absolutely sewered us on the goalie rankings. Absolutely awful. Where are you at right now, brother? You in AZ?
I'm at the office, Arizona. Just keep grinding on a Monday morning. Just taking a break to talk to you guys.
I absolutely love it, dude.
And you look amazing.
We feel like we have crazy goalie controversy going on in so many of these series right now. So I'm thrilled to bring you in while we talk about the Vegas Oilers series, because the Calvin Pickard, Stuart Skinner drama is on the top of everyone's tongue. That's the series we're going to start the show with. Give us your take immediately.
I mean, God, Edmonton just should have gotten a goalie like a few months ago. Like, I don't know what they're thinking and everything, but now we're in this mess, and I feel like they just got to score 5 or 6 goals to win every game. You know what I mean? I cannot believe we went through the trading deadline and this is what we still have. But yeah, it.
Oh, God. Well, we just lost Eddie. It's okay. We're going to get him back. Hold on one second.
And dude, while we do that, by the way,
I'm
wait,
back.
Eddie, you're back.
Yeah,
You're back.
yeah.
Okay, sorry. Dude, I completely agree with that point, by the way. It does feel like we've had this conversation all season long.
Yep.
Like, is it good enough? Are we happy? And it's wild that we've gotten to the point where when Pickard goes in against the Kings, every Oilers fan was like, we're dead. It's over. Right. What are we possibly going to do here? Then the guy's undefeated,
Jean-Luc,
and he is the savior.
Yep.
And now Skinner's back in, and you not only are you seeing fans, like Oilers fans in the stands and on Twitter being like, "Oh, Jesus Christ." Skinner lets in that first goal in that game, and the camera cuts to Connor, and Connor's visibly like shaking his head. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's but I also thought, like, the last game that I watched, which was Pickard's last game, I didn't watch the end of it because I'm like an early to bed guy these days with the kids and everything. But
I was gonna say, what do you got, a bunch of kids or something?
The first 2 periods, I felt that Pickard was lights out too, and he like still obviously let in 4 or 5 goals or like whatever it was, but like he really stole the show between the two goalies, right? And then for him to be hurt now, and Skinner come in, and Skinner is 0-3 now in the playoffs. I mean, it's just bananas at everything that's happening.
I couldn't agree more, and that's what my favorite part about this has been. In the King series, you have the Jim Hiller challenge that everyone talked about. They were like, that totally turned the series. And now we possibly have a case where in this series, you've got this play where Skinner comes out to the fucking blue line, it feels like, on that Riley Smith goal. Leon puts it in, and now people are being like, is this the moment in this series that's going to change everything?
Goes to hell.
Yeah. And it's possible.
And Eddie, do you think, what is it like as a goalie when obviously the guys are all saying the right thing? Everybody's like, we believe in Stu. He's played incredible for us. He played great for us in the playoffs last year. But as a goalie, Stu is dealing with some shit confidence-wise, without question. So how do you overcome that when you're like, fuck, I'm 0-3. I can't win. I'm a disaster. Like, what do you do in those moments?
I mean, you feel the pressure, right? And like, it's not like the other guy played like shit and now you're in, right? So the pressure is kind of off. But like, I mean, Picker won 6-0, so
Yeah.
it's like, and like the only reason you're in is because he's hurt, you know. So it's. I mean, it's not a good feeling to have, you know. And like from the start of that series, I thought 100% that LA was gonna win that series, and then they go up 2-0, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like a lock now. And then Edmonton just went on to win 4 in a row. I mean, it's they have such power up front, right? And like such a good team that I was just like so confused that they didn't do anything at the trading deadline.
Yeah, I mean, it's I still can't get over that series. Like you just said, the fact that it was 2-0 and then Pickard comes in, and no disrespect to Pickard, he's a NHL goalie.
Yep.
But, he knows he's not the starter. He knows that this, necessarily isn't his job. And then, yeah, he rattles off 6 straight fucking wins. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And
Pickard would have been great to have if they actually had a starter. I mean,
yeah,
like
That's a good point.
Pickard is like the Eddie Lack. I mean, if you have a solid number one, Pickard is amazing to have. I mean, like he's a great goalie. He's just not the guy to carry you through 16 wins in the playoffs. I mean, like you need another guy in front of him, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. I can't get over we talk to guys like NHL players like you all the time about, yeah, you're pros. Yeah, you know how to deal with the mental adversity. But at the end of the day, you're in the playoffs and it is a mental game. And if you are Stu Skinner right now, who's already dealt with tons of, backlash and negative comments online and people not believing in him. He saw a psychologist last year to get his mind right and then played some of the best hockey of his life. But now here we are in the playoffs again. He hasn't played well. He's 0-3 now and feels like yet again he has the weight of the city of Edmonton on his shoulders. How could you possibly go into this game feeling good?
Dude, I would say because don't forget this exact thing happened last year where he got pulled in the Vancouver series, right? I think. And Pickard goes in and played, I don't know, 3 or 4 games. And then Skinner comes back. And that's when I thought he elevated. Skinner, the best goaltending I've seen Stu do was when he came back in and he got the reset. So I was thinking, maybe he'll come in game 3 here and play lights out and just be like, okay, I'm back. I got my playoff reset.
Yeah.
And he wasn't horrible. But if they lose game 4 at home and he is bad again, and you don't get that reset, I think you're in a tailspin.
Absolutely. And what do you guys, how did you both feel watching that game? Because we obviously go to Rogers. We know how brutal it is to play in that barn. You're down 0-2 if you're the Knights, and then you go down 0-2 in the game. I mean, the fact that they tied that up, then took the lead, and it took a Connor, let's be honest, lucky bounce. That was a pass to tie it up late. Did you feel like in game 3, especially a win in Edmonton, change the tides here a little bit, or do you think that this is still Edmonton in control in the driver's seat?
Yeah, what do you think, Eddie?
I still feel like Edmonton is in the driver's seat, and mainly because I don't really think that Hills looked very good in this playoffs either. So it's it's like the battle of like who will let the last goal in every night, right? And it's just it's a very interesting series to watch. I mean, like I thought that the Avs were gonna beat the Stars too, but that didn't happen. I mean, it's I still think, especially after winning 2 on the road, that it's Edmonton's series to lose now.
Yeah.
But the Knights are definitely in it.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And you're so right about Hill, because I thought Hill looked great against Minnesota.
Oh,
yeah. And we all, he's a Stanley Cup winning goaltender. So I was like, they're in a great position. They're healthy. They're going to be strong. Eichel obviously started picking it up, but you're so right. Through 3 games, he definitely hasn't looked like himself.
The last game was better, but I'm so with you, dude. Those couple early goals, I was like, you got to be kidding me, because this is a matchup you have to have the advantage on if you're Vegas, and you weren't getting it.
The second game was on him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, like I felt that Vegas was controlling the game at home. Like they had him just where like they wanted, and then the second and the third goal was just like really bad goals, like shots that he usually has, right? So it's yeah, this series is like wild, but I feel like the whole playoffs have been really wild up to this point.
Yeah. I mushed myself last week. I was like, oh, it looked like all these teams that were in the driver's seat. I was like, oh, we might just these series all might be over, and now here we are. Like everything's tied up. People are back in control.
It's also Vegas last year, I'm pretty sure, won 2 games in round 1. They won 2 games in Dallas to start that series. Like did what Edmonton just did. And then Dallas came all the way back. So it's kind of like if you're Vegas, you at least have a little experience with this exact scenario where you're like, okay, Dallas did it to us last year. Like this isn't the craziest thing of all time. Let's make it happen.
Yep.
So you can kind of ride with
100%.
that. I am worried because I was shocked that, because I was so wrong, but I was shocked that Braden McNabb wasn't more hurt.
I know.
Like I was like, he's going to miss game 3. And then we thought, well, might get suspended, and he didn't. So they got both those guys to play. And that was a big boost.
Yeah.
Stone left that game in the first period, game 3, played like 5 minutes, didn't come back. They said he's day to day. They won game 3 without him, largely without him. He was a -1 when he left. But that's a big task if he's down. I'm not, like, it's a hard one to come back from if you lose him too.
Totally. And Eddie, we got game 4 coming up here. If Vegas can pull this game out, which would be crazy to win another one in Edmonton, do you think the series has completely flipped on its head, or do you think we're going to kind of have this back and forth for the rest of the time?
I think we're kind of going to have this back and forth for like the rest of the time. I mean that's kind of what happens when you got the 2 best players in the game, and they can just flip it on and flip it off, and it's they're so good when they're on this Oilers team, but like then they get a few deflating goals against them and everything, and just anything can happen.
Yeah, it's so true. That's exactly why I've said, it's why I picked Edmonton in the series. And it's like the definition of insanity with LA for 4 years in a row now. It's we keep being like, oh, LA could do it. But it is, even when they're not even scoring that much, it just does feel like if Connor and Leon are on the ice, you can never count this team out. Literally ever.
Eddie, this team won 6 straight games. I think literally all 6 were comebacks, maybe 5 of the 6.
No, it's all 6.
Yeah.
All 6.
And in this game, they take the lead, and then Vegas is the one that comes back. So I'm thinking you just give Edmonton the lead. I think when you play them, you just literally shoot one in your own net, make them play with the lead. Fuck you, Connor. I think it's like when they get down, that's what fires them up more,
Yeah, 100%.
Spot them 2 goals, dude. Fuck them. I think that's the only way forward.
Other than this series, Eddie, what's your favorite series you're watching right now?
Well, I'm really watching the Canes now because I like the way that they're looking. Like everyone was sleeping on them before the playoffs. I saw PK Subban said that like they're the worst team in the East to make the playoffs. I mean, it was crazy to me because I felt like they kind of got their stuff together by the end of the regular season, and then there was like a few games at the end where they already made the playoffs and everything that they kind of shit the bed a little bit, but that's like who like cares, but I feel like they really bought in at like the right time, and like they're really tough to play against. I mean, they've been for like a very long time, they've been really tough to play against. So I think that this actually might be the Canes year. I mean, like they're looking really good.
Dude, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder that I haven't seen from them, because they're always disrespected, but they have a serious chip on their shoulder this year, and they're getting the goaltending. I love Freddie. I've always loved watching him play, but he kind of tires out. Right so far, man, he has been fucking incredible.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And you just said it with PK. I think a lot of people are running with this narrative. It's almost like they've adopted the Islanders narrative. People are being like, oh, they're boring. It's such a boring. Devil series was so boring. Even this series, someone was saying it was like taking a Dramamine or something, not Dramamine, but whatever. Taking a Xanax, watching this series. But I don't agree with that. It's every game has been a goalie battle with LT playing so well. Freddie's playing insane. And I'm with you. I think they play a fun, fast pace of hockey.
They are fast.
And no doubt about it, this season, the way they played against the Devils, the way they're playing right now, they're up 2-1. I think it's the best shot I've seen in the last 4 years from them. Like, I'm looking at this Canes team and I'm like, they're pretty fucking good, man. They could beat Toronto. They could beat Florida, whoever comes out of there. They could beat Washington. So, yeah, if I'm Canes fans, I feel pretty confident right now. sure.
It's interesting. I want to say I need to see more offense from them. And I know they blew up in game 3.
Yeah.
In my mind, I want to say I need to see more offense. But as we've said, they've gone up against LT right now, who's dialed, and our boy Markstrom, who was also playing great in round 1. So it's
he
kind of
was
hard.
crazy good.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard for me to be like, I need the Canes to score more when I'm like, they were going up against 2 elite goalies. So it's okay. They look good.
100%.
I think the Canes will beat Washington. I think the Canes will beat Toronto if that's who they play. I think they will lose to Florida if they play Florida.
You think Florida has the legs? I mean, they looked a little tired in game 1 and 2, but then have completely flipped the script.
Yeah,
we'll get into that later, but yeah.
I really think that Florida's got the juice to go back to back, but yeah.
God, that would be crazy.
I know.
That would be so crazy. All right, Eddie, before we let you go tonight, Washington, Carolina, and then Vegas-Edmonton. What are your predictions for those games?
I believe that the Canes will win. Let's say another boring 4-1 win to an open net.
Hey, thank you for that.
Yes, we need the empty netter. I like that.
Yeah. And who's the second game again?
We got
the Jets?
Vegas-Edmonton game 4 tonight.
Oh yeah. So, God, I don't know. Let's say that I don't want Edmonton to win, but I think Edmonton will pull one out today.
Okay. Yeah. I would be shocked if Edmonton loses both at home. I know.
Let's say 7-5.
Oh, hell yes, dude. That would be awesome.
Just a complete shit show. I like it.
Yeah.
Both of them pulled, dude. Yeah, they actually just trade. They're like, "Hell, you go play goalie for Edmonton. We'll take Stu and just finish this third period out."
Oh my God. All right. I like those predictions. Eddie, we're gonna let you bounce, but we are gonna have you back as we do more of this stuff. And also, we're gonna bring your buddy on.
Oh yeah.
Can you give us a plug? Tell us his name. What's the deal here?
Yeah, so my boy Ryan Beckman and I, we have done a bet that because he coaches his son's minor league teams and everything here. Ryan, get off your fucking phone. Let's go.
Hang on. Yeah, well, my AirPods aren't working. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you sound perfect, Ryan.
Can you hear me now? Maybe.
Do you want to introduce yourself, or do you want me to like introduce you?
Of course, right? I wasn't ready for it. Here.
Oh fuck!
Let's see here. I know. You told me to be ready.
Well, there we go. Ryan, can you hear us?
Good.
Are you good?
I got a crazy echo, but that's okay.
Here we go.
All right, plug yourself in.
There we go.
Sounds perfect now.
Now I'm good. You know what it was? I was listening to you guys at the same time, so I was getting the
classic
echo.
talk radio.
Yeah.
Ryan,
well, thanks for having me, guys. Eddie,
tell the world who you are, Ryan.
Yeah, who the hell are you?
I'm nobody. No, my name is Ryan. I met Eddie indirectly last year. So I played hockey in British Columbia. I live down in Arizona now. I coach my son's 8U travel team, the Knights. Last summer, I'll give you the quick story. We'll give you the cliff notes. Last summer, he made the team. Got super sick right after making the team. Ended up in Phoenix Children's ICU for a week. And I got a text from Eddie creating a video, goalie to goalie, for my kid saying, "Hey, man, like, I got you. When you get out, you're going to get through this. We'll get together, come to a practice." Then Eddie found out my kid's favorite team was the Devils. Got a video from Jesper Bratt to my kid, which was like massive for my kid, right? So, when my son Valentino got out of the hospital, Eddie came to a practice, met him, I think made him a drawing or something like that, Eddie. I can't remember. Some sort of special gift. But the kids loved it. Eddie came out to practice. And I think it was that night when Eddie and I were in a group text with our friend who doesn't play hockey. And I started talking smack to Eddie about him as a player, right? And I've never played goalie in my life. Like, I've only ever played player. And we were trying to get our friend to come out and take shots. And we're like, we'll pay you. Like, just come out, strap the pads on. And I said to Eddie, I'm like, dude, I'll stop you all day long. Like, I've never put goalie pads on, but I'll absolutely stop you. And that turned into Eddie's, like, basically put your money where your mouth is. So it was $500 is what we were going to bet. And then we're like, dude, neither of us need the money, like that money. So let's donate it to charity. He was on the way to Canucks for Kids. And he's like, I'll grab the check for Canucks for Kids now. We'll do the shootout later. Right. Like, I'll just take the money up. Like, there's no way you're stopping. It's not happening. And my ego's like, oh, yeah, I got you. So he's like, I'll go 5 for 5. You won't stop one of them. And that turned into like an idea for a charity event where Eddie would shoot on me. Again, I've never worn goalie pads in my life. And I got to stop one. He's got to go 5 for 5. And I'm like, the best guys in the world don't hit the hole every time. So like he might, like I'm more banking on him missing than me saving it. And we kind of shelved it over the winter. And then about a week ago, I was like, dude, we're never going to do this. Like, it was going to be a small little local event. I'm like, let's just do it, me and you. Let's get it going. And he's like, I'm so busy, man. Like, don't involve me that much, basically. Like, I got so much going on. And I'm like, yeah, man, it'll be super small. We're just going to do like a little event at the rink. Well, a couple of days ago, I started telling people about it, and it's blown up since then. We've got Swaggy P's coming out, Pat Shea, the boys on the bench. Theo Fleury committed yesterday. We've got some other guys. So what we're doing now is an event for charity. We've got a GoFundMe. You can bet on Eddie or me. So if you bet on me, 75% goes to my friend's charity Puck Support, Brady Leavold up in Canada, mental health hockey. And 25 would go to Eddie's charity, Canucks for Kids. If Eddie wins, 75% goes to Canucks for Kids, 25 goes to Brady. We've got Swaggy P and the guys doing their demonstration. And then we're doing a game where Eddie and I are the captains and we're drafting. So it's going to be pros, the influencers, and this will all hopefully be live streamed as well as at the rink. All the money again goes to
your guys' invite.
Yes. So we want you guys to come. Yeah.
Didn't want to fucking bring that up yet, but Jesus Christ, dude. Must have got lost in the mail.
We wanted you to commit on air for charity. It's for charity.
The key thing, for charity, right?
So good.
Yeah, dude. And then we got a silent auction. So, like, do you know who Gooby, the custom skate guy?
Oh, yeah.
So Gooby's making a pair for the event, for the silent auction. He's coming down too. I'm trying to think who else is coming down. It's kind of like, again, we haven't even launched it yet. Website's lackcan'tscore.com.
Incredible.
You're welcome, Eddie. Yeah, he's like, what are you doing, guys? But hey, it was available. So that's basically, and I mean, there's a lot more to it, but that's the nuts and bolts of it. And that's how Eddie came into my life. He's been one of my best friends since then. He's just a superhuman. Actually, there is one other thing. We started this thing last night called the Hydration Station Challenge. So basically, it's flip the puck on the top of the net where the goalie keeps the water bottle, the hydration station. And it's kind of like an ice bucket challenge. We want that to go around to help raise money for this event. So
amazing.
Get that out. Yeah, I mean, literally created it last night. Hopefully the kids get behind it. But yeah, so we'd love to have you guys if you want to come participate in the game. You might. I'm just kidding.
It would be pretty tough look for us to live on air say that no, we're not going to get involved with the charity. So well played, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
No, but Ryan, this sounds awesome. I'm so glad Eddie put it on our radar. We'll definitely make sure to share the website. Is the website live?
It's live now. Yeah.
We'll share that in the chat. We'll pop that on Twitter, on Instagram to make sure people know about it. Because I hate to pump his tires, but Eddie is one of the best guys in the world. So I'm not surprised that you guys made something awesome happen here. So we're going to get involved for sure and make sure everyone knows about it.
Awesome. And I am going to get embarrassed because I did strap goalie pads on yesterday.
Didn't go well?
It was against 8-year-olds and it didn't go that great. So
they went 5 for 5. So
you're practicing? This is not part of the contract.
Agree.
No, you're the one that's not allowed to get on the ice. I'm allowed to get on the ice.
Oh my God.
I was going to say mentally and emotionally, Eddie is pretty much an 8-year-old. So you actually might be okay. You're kind of in the same
well, that's why we get along so well, though.
Oh my God. All right. Well, that's beautiful stuff, boys.
Thank you very much.
We'll make sure to blast all this out. And Ryan, thank you for sharing the story and spreading the word here.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank you both, boys. We'll talk to you soon. All right. Great stuff from the man.
God,
Black.
dude, he's
Also,
so-
what a beauty Ryan is. Before we move on to the Caps Canes, we'll get the ticker back up. Make sure everyone knows what we're discussing here. But do you have anything more to say on Vegas Oilers before we go to Caps Canes?
I would say credit to Vegas because the going down 2-0 in that game was a very easy rollover. Moment.
To me,
like,
it was,
see you later, dude.
Start planning your golf trip. Dude.
Yeah,
start planning your trip to Cancun.
Yeah.
It's time for summer vacation. That's truly what it felt like. We were out and about. We got the game on, and I when I turned the game on, it was 2-0. And I was like, oh, well, great. I'm not even going to get to enjoy this game.
Yeah, right.
So you're so right. That battle back
with Stonehurt. Like you
monster.
lose your catch, and I'm like, this is Hova. So I give them a lot of credit for that. And I will say the buzzer beater goal was wild. I've like never seen anything like that in my life. That was so fucking nuts.
Dude, so nuts.
and dude, Riley Smith, fucking, I cannot believe the poise to shot fake that. Like there's because we can see the clock, obviously watching on TV. When you're skating down there, you don't quite know how many seconds are left.
Chris.
You just know that there's like 2. So the fact that he pumped that, like imagine if he pumps that, pushes it wide, and the buzzer goes off. I'm like, are you a moron, dude?
There were so many elements of that play that made no sense. If you look at the freeze frames, there's first of all, William Karlsson coming in the zone. It's like a 1-on-3.
Yeah.
He gets to that puck first, somehow gets that puck to Riley. And then, yes, the wherewithal and the poise to go, I've got enough time.
Yeah.
I've got enough time here. I'm going to pump fake this. But man, that was, I was ready to get myself another drink.
Yeah.
You see the clock ticking down and you're like, we're done here.
Yep.
This game's over, or the regulation's over. We're going to head to OT. Let's regroup here. And then all of a sudden that's just in. And credit to Riley. He knew the whole time. He knew that puck went in. He knew that there was still time on the clock. And he was like, we won. Went over to the bench. Oilers guys are getting ready for overtime. The Vegas guys are looking around, and Riley's, you can see his mouth. He's being like, that's a goal. We just won.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go get ready for game 4.
God, beast.
Absolutely crazy. So we've got that game tonight. I do think, like Eddie said, and by the way, huge shout out Eddie for popping on the show. You'll see more of him coming up here, guys. I think it's so hard to bet against Connor and Leon at home. You can never do it. It's a stupid thing. It's a fool's errand. But I do think there's just a lot of mental stuff now. A lot of mental stuff.
It's the goalies for me, dude. It's because you're right. I think you're going to see. I thought Vegas has played better than Edmonton the last 2 games. And I think you're going to see a big pushback from Edmonton right now because they don't want to have wasted their 2-game road extravaganza. But Vegas, I think, has the team to slow them down if they play their best. And it's the mental thing, dude. Like, what do you do with Skinner? Does Skinner go, dude, I'm bouncing back. I'm sorry, boys. I've got us, and play great and lockdown, which I know he can.
Yeah.
And he did at many times last year.
Yep.
If he does that, Edmonton's going to win this game and probably the series.
Yeah.
If he's leaky again, everyone starts playing nervous because they're worried about what's going back there. And Hill was better, certainly better than game 2. And if he's more dialed, then I think Vegas is going to win this game and possibly the series. So it's that so much of it rides on that for me in this one.
And have we heard any news on Stone?
Just day to day. Cassidy was like day to day. We'll see.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that tonight to see if he's in. And then the Pickard stuff is, we heard from Elliot Friedman and Darren Dreger today. It's going to be at least another week per Knobloch on Pickard.
Another week.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's
you got Skinner for at least 2-3 games here.
Yeah.
So
very interesting.
If it even goes that far, but that'll be interesting. Let's get into Caps Canes. Canes take a 2-1 series lead with a monster win, an emphatic win. One of 2 shutouts on the weekend.
Yes. Wow. Good call. Let's start there. In fact, if I would say for the first time, they got a few by LT that he would want back.
Yes.
Definitely that second one. I forget who got the second goal, but definitely that second one. And this has been a goalie, but these have been the 2 best goalies in the playoffs. This has been a goalie battle so far through this series. And that feels good to go home and be like, okay, we snuck a few past him. He is human, whatever. And to pair that, dude, when you have a nice ribeye and you pair it perfectly with a red, a deep red, I don't know anything about red wine, but
Yeah,
I imagine some of them are
producer
deep.
Edge is shaking his head
Yeah.
at you for your best efforts
Yep.
there. But yes,
So
you would sometimes drink a red wine with a steak, Chris.
pair of medium rare marbled ribeye with a red wine.
Yeah.
To take an LT leaky. The Canes went to dinner and took a leaky LT, plated it, and then paired that with an iceberg shutout. And that is the stuff of dreams, dude. That is a perfect night. That is a perfect dinner experience.
Just a perfect meal
for
for Canes fans.
God, dude. 4th career shutout. I wrote down, dude, he's 9-4-0-1-3-2 in the playoffs. What? Iceberg.
What has been their knock for years?
God.
It's you don't have enough goaltending. But you know what I think it is? Freddie has seen the world become aware of the Allfather.
Yeah.
Before, Jacob Slavin was flying under the radar. People didn't realize how good Jacob Slavin was. Now people know. Freddie knows that people know, and he has the confidence of the world realizing how good Slavin is. So now he's playing.
Yeah, he knows how good Slavin is now. He's like, whoa. Dude, Freddie watched 4 Nations. And he was like, holy fuck, dude. You're so good.
You're nasty.
Like,
I don't think I even realized how nasty you were.
I've been standing in front of you all year.
What have I been doing? Worrying about backdoor tap-ins? I'm cheating when I've got you over there? He's just staying in his angles, and we're fine.
That's so good.
But you get a first period, no goals in this game 3 per usual. We've got this goalie back and forth. Just absolute barn burners. And then, bang, 2 goals in the second, 2 goals in the third for Carolina. 4-0 win. I am here to say, we went into this game, we talked to some people, everyone said, if you're a Caps fan, you need the Caps to come out strong. You need the Caps to have a better jump, a better start. And they did. Tom Wilson had a great chance early in the first. Couldn't slip at 5-hole. 9 shots for the Caps in the first period. That's better than we've seen.
Best they've had in a minute, dude. For all our bingo warriors out there, getting 8+ Cap shots was unthinkable.
Yeah.
So congrats.
But I will say this: 6 shots and then 6 shots after that. What are you doing, Washington? What are you doing? Shoot the fucking puck more. 21 shots in this game.
I feel like such a broken record because I say this every fucking show, but how many goals do we have to watch ricochet in off skates in these playoffs? Connor McDavid's game tying goal.
Riley Smith's game winning goal.
Two of the Winnipeg goals in game 3 or game 2.
Yeah.
2 of those.
It's constant.
Get the puck going in that direction. It is so wild to me that you can take 5 shots in a playoff period. It's unacceptable.
Completely unacceptable. And when you look at not just Ovi, the goal scoring from this Capitals team this year, you've got Wilson with a career year. Strome is unbelievable. Protas and McMichael come out of nowhere. You need to start throwing pucks on net. And I mean literally throwing them on net.
Yeah.
Just create
pick them up. Pick it up with your hand
in front of the net. Because just another game where you are well under 30 shots in the game. And we keep saying, oh, this is such a low-scoring series. It's a goalie battle. It's this, it's that. You want to know how you beat goalies? You put shots on net.
Yep.
And I can't get over how you talk about it. If we're talking about it, they're talking about it. You need more shots. And this Washington team is just not going to get as far as they possibly could or should if this is just the offensive effort every game.
Yep.
You're not going to get more than 2-3 goals on Anderson with 21 shots. You're not
playing the way he is, especially even if he was playing worse, you would need to get more shots. Yeah. And he's playing the way he is. So you need to be peppering him. I also have an insane take because we thought that the Caps going to Carolina, Caps have been a great road team, but you're going to Carolina where they never lose. They won 31 games at home. This is going to be a very tough matchup. If the Caps could have a great first period for the first time all series and put Carolina back on their heels, it would sow doubt into the Canes because they would go, uh-oh, we're home where I thought I had this extra advantage.
Yeah.
And I've been smothering the Caps all series anyway. And then, wow, they come out and punch me in the mouth in the first period. That was really going to put the Canes back on their heels, give the Caps all the momentum. I actually thought the Caps had their best first period by a mile, but since they didn't score, it completely backfired, and they were like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
that's
In Raleigh, too.
That's our best guy. That's our best shot."
In Raleigh too, and you're like, God damn it, what happened?
Like they leave that first period 0-0, and they're like, "Fuck." Whereas if they had just scored one, if they leave that first period up 1-0, they go, "Bitch, oh no, we're in Raleigh. Who cares? You're down 1-0." But instead, it was 0-0, and the Canes came out and they were like, "Us, they're dead."
Definitely.
I didn't think that was not good.
It's a statement game, like we keep talking about. People keep doubting this Carolina team. They don't fear them. They think they're frauds. And then we go to Raleigh and they win 4-0. That is a huge drop the cock on the table moment. I mean, truly 4-0, getting 4 past LT. That is a massive accomplishment.
Big.
Keeping all those Caps guys off the board and getting a shutout, massive accomplishment. You know that barn was absolutely rocking. That is the mental game. You're like, fuck, now we have another game tonight in Raleigh. There's just a lot of momentum for the Carolina Hurricanes right now, and that is huge. So this isn't I'm not calling this a must-win for the Caps. I really am not. You go down 3-1, that blows, but you get to go home and try to get another win on home ice. I do think that this is important. Johnny Laz just jumped in the chat. Johnny
says Caps are cooked.
Fucking love you, dude. Caps are cooked.
Johnny.
Svetch is a beast. I think Svetch is a beast is a fact. Caps are cooked. I'm not ready to call a fact yet. I think this Caps team has been so good all year, and I also think we've seen them go night-night a couple times.
Yeah.
They get sleepy.
Yep.
Every now and then the Caps, they go like this, oh, I'm tired, and they forget they're playing hockey. And then they wake up and they bounce back.
Yep.
That's something we could see here in this game.
Mandy says Caps are 25-7-1 after a loss this season.
Good fact.
Good fact. And they've already done that in this series.
Yep.
Lost game 1, come back and win game 2. I think I think they are not cooked yet. This has been such a funny series for picks because people are going, Caps are cooked. It's a fact. Dude, this series has been so crazy because you always talk about how reactionary playoffs are. Where you think you have a team and then you go game one happens and you completely change your opinion. People are flip-flopping on this so hard.
Yeah.
When this series started, more than half the media was like Caps and 6. And then the Canes play game 1 and everyone's like, oh, I think it's the Canes. And then the Caps look great in game 2 or better and win. And they go, oh, never mind. It's Caps. And then last night or whatever that game was happens and everybody's like, oh my God, Canes in 5. And I'm like, calm down.
Everyone relax.
So I think this is going to be a good one, dude. I think it's going to be a really good one. I think LT plays way better. But
should we bring Johnny in?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But
Producer Edge, we're going to bring Johnny in. I'm going to send him the link as we keep talking. Hold on.
But you gotta get some people going here. We joked in game 2. You got
huge.
Tom Wilson going. You shouldn't have done that. And Willie had a couple chances. I'm not saying he played a bad game 3, but I am saying he needs to get on the board. Ovi needs to get on the board because I'm not sure you're going to beat this Canes team the way Freddie's playing, the way Iceberg is giving you fresh lettuce if you're just relying on your secondary scoring.
Yeah, you definitely need something different to go on here because I think we haven't seen anything as we keep talking about the goalie duel. We got someone on Twitter right now saying this series is so boring. I don't agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep saying I don't think it's so boring. I think it's not as crazy as the other ones. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
We've just got so much mayhem in these other series.
Dude, the other series are alcoholics.
But by comparison, people are calling it boring.
Yeah.
But
and I'm like, whoa, dude.
Just a bunch of booze hounds
and
in the other series.
Caps Canes likes to party, but responsibly.
Yeah.
But they can still have fun.
They're not boring because they're not degenerates.
They're just buzzed.
Yeah. Like, give them a break.
The series is buzzed, and I'm fine with that.
Give them a break. We got Johnny Laz joining the show now. Laz, are you still in Iowa?
No, I'm at my parents' right now. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. You look fantastic. Is it a bright, sunny day?
Yeah, it's beautiful. I got my sister here, her kids, dog scratching on the door right now. I just stepped outside for a sec. We were watching you all together at the lunch table.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Now Laz joined.
We got Uncle Laz here.
Yeah, we got
Uncle Laz.
We got Uncle Laz.
We got Uncle Laz on the show. Are you just chatting shit, or do you actually think the Caps are cooked?
A mix of both.
Okay.
The all caps was talking shit to you, Dan, just because like you could like hear me say that. I feel like,
Yeah.
but I think Carolina, like, listen, they're the most consistent team in the playoffs. We were actually talking about it this morning on our show. Like, our producer Vic asked the question, which team do you feel most like comfortable with in the playoffs, like with their overall performance? And the
Yeah.
Canes were the team that I said came first to mind. Like, he was thinking Dallas, just because how Dallas has played offensively, their blue line and goaltending. But the Canes, to me, are just a little bit more consistent than the Stars team. Again, opponents are different, right? Because Dallas had to face a loaded, Colorado team in the first round, so it's a little bit of a tougher task than the Devils were. But as far as how the Canes have played, like, is it crazy to say they have the best blue line in the playoffs right now? I don't think so.
Not at all. I mean, we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Jacob Slavin is the best defenseman who's ever lived
Yeah.
and ever played the game. And since Four Nations, the world is becoming more aware of that, and he's only gotten better and better.
I know,
and it's we're seeing more offense from him than we ever have before too, which is crazy because that he's dialed. But I actually love that take, man. When you think about a team like Florida, who's gone to the Cup 2 years in a row, they just tied the series up. To your point, since the Tampa series haven't been consistent. Those first 2 games against Toronto, they were totally asleep at the wheel.
Yep.
And then Dallas is the other one I would say that they have shown the most consistency.
They got rinsed though. I mean, Johnny's right with the opponents because it's the Jets and the Avs, but like they got rinsed 4-0 twice, I think, to the Avs and the Jets.
Exactly. And let's talk about, if you go back to the Devils series with Carolina, you're right. If you're a Canes fan, you haven't really sweat yet these playoffs, right?
Not at all.
You've been up the whole time. You've been up in this series the whole time. That's true. Like, you're kind of on easy street right now.
Yeah.
Be as boring as you fucking want, dude. You're just winning.
Well, also, Dan, like at CP, the narrative, like the Canes are so much worse on the road than they are at home. Like, they played pretty damn good in Washington.
Yes.
And they come home and obviously shut out the Caps 4-0. Ovi hasn't scored a goal yet in this series too, which is a big factor. Their power play, I think, is like 1 for 7, Washington. And the Canes have only let up 1 power play goal against in the entire playoffs, which is nuts.
Dude, I was going to say that next.
Well, it's not nuts because they have Jacob.
They were the best.
And
PK.
Freddie's been good.
Dude, and they were the best PK in the regular season. And that doesn't always translate, dude. Remember last year, the Kings had like the second best PK in the league regular season, get to the first round against the Oilers. The Oilers score literally on every power play. And it was like, it cost them the series. So the Canes come in with that regular season PK and they've been unbelievable in the playoffs. And it's actually becoming a massive weapon for them because like these power plays aren't going the other way, don't matter.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Do you think that Freddie can stay fresh, Laz, or do you think eventually the wheels get a little bit of tread on them? Because that's what we see, right? It's almost like the last 2 years since they've had Freddie and they've been this really dominant team. It does feel like goaltending eventually bites them in the ass. But right now, all signs are pointing towards he looks fresher than ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a loaded question just because the past couple years also, like the teams they've run into, I'm obviously I have to talk about the Rangers here. But
I teed you up.
But you did. But okay, so the Hurricanes hockey has always been like they'll dominate you 5-on-5, but they don't have the game breaker that can, score a big goal when needed, and their power play is too inconsistent. And in recent years, they've gone against a really strong Rangers power play. The Rangers' man advantage was the difference last year, and they've been out goalied like last year against Igor Shesterkin. But right now, Logan Thompson and Freddie Anderson have pretty much been neck and neck in the playoffs. Like, Logan Thompson's been really good, but Freddie's been like right there up to par with him. So there isn't much of a goaltending edge in this series. And then when you take away Washington's power play, they're not really going to outplay Carolina in any other category, right? At 5-on-5, when do you see the Hurricanes get outplayed? Like maybe once every 7 games, maybe. And that's the big consistency thing too, right? Like, exactly what you're getting from the Canes every night. You don't really know that from the Capitals' perspective against the Canes. Like, typically the Caps are able to, play that heavy style 5-on-5. And, Tom Wilson obviously had that big game in game 2, and maybe he can have a big game tonight and step up. But, as far as the physicality, the speed, the up and down play goes, like, I think Carolina is the best team remaining right now.
And you're so right about you watch them and they kind of lack a game breaker, someone that's just going to put the entire team in his back. It'd be like you wish you could trade for a Mikko Rantanen or something.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. imagine him.
Wouldn't that be sick?
Imagine him on that team. Oh my god.
But like back to the Freddie thing too. If they can keep these series, like, they win round one, 5 games. If they win tonight, like, the series doesn't have to necessarily extend. They're up 3-1. They can close it out in 5, close it out in 6. Like, as long as they don't drag out these first 2 rounds, like, that'll only help Freddie get extra rest going into the third round.
Yeah, no question about it. And if you're playing a grimy team like Florida, if Florida were to win that series, you do want rest, right? You want to be as fresh as you can. But it is true. I mean, I just a moment ago I said I don't know that I'm necessarily ready to call this game must win for the Caps.
Yeah.
But I do think it is a must look different.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Johnny, it's so far this series, the Caps haven't scared you really, right? I mean, like the one win that you have could have gone both ways.
I would say all playoffs, and no knock on Montreal,
Yeah.
but I don't think the Caps at any point looked like, oh, there's a juggernaut. Like that Montreal thing felt tight the whole way.
I think that they slapped them in the mouth in the closing out game. Like I really do. But I hear you. They were scrappy. Yeah. They were scrappy games. That's true. But yeah, no, this game tonight is and to me, it needs to be a monster response, because even if you get that 1-goal win, if you win 2-1, if you win 3-2, you only sneak a couple past Freddie. Again, Freddie stays looking dialed. If you're a Canes fan, or if you're this Canes team, I don't think you get rattled by this series getting tied up. I think you go, yep, this is gone how it's gone for us. This is our game still. So if you're the Caps, I think you need to disrupt what's been working for the Canes. You can't, I mean, you if you get a win, you get a win, but you can't get a sneaky win and be like, okay, we've turned the tides here. Because then it's kind of in the same ballpark.
Yeah. Even like a 1-0, 2-1 win scares me a little bit, because you're kind of relying on, you're like, LT played great and we got won by Freddie. I'm like, you'd like to see a few goals go in, I think, if you're Washington.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Johnny, we'll let you get back to the family, but tonight's games, Caps, Canes, Vegas, Edmonton, what are your predictions?
Canes and Vegas. I think Carolina. Yeah, I think Carolina's just too good at home. Like I said before, if the Caps are gonna win one, it's gonna be LT stealing it.
Yep.
I doubt we see a game where Washington like outchances Carolina. It's gonna have to be a big time goaltending performance from Logan Thompson, and maybe Ovi gets one. Ovi's got to get hot. Like, the Caps aren't going to go anywhere if he doesn't score a goal. People forget that Matt Mempey had more goals than Ovi last year in the first round. But as far as Vegas goes, I mean, I don't know if you guys touched on it already. Like, I was kind of like listening in and out, but that last goal, like, I don't put on Stuart Skinner.
No, agree.
I get why people would, because he was certainly out of position, but like in the dying seconds, like I thought he pretty much cut away every angle that Riley Smith had. And listen, the other goals that were scored, like Riley Smith's first goal, to me, if you watch that replay, like Riley, he just dances through 2 guys at the blue line, comes in untouched, backhand 5-hole. Like, that looked like a goal in January. But I just think Vegas right now, like, I don't trust Skinner. While I don't put the blame on the Oilers goaltending, because their D has just been so leaky. I don't know. It's tough. Like, I'm actually rooting for an Oilers Caps final. Like, I want to see Ovi get back there, and I want to see Connor in it again, and like whichever one wins, I'd be fine with. Just because like either way, it's a great story. But yeah, I think the Vegas Golden Knights win tonight. It's tied up at 2, and I think the Canes make it 3-1. What do you guys think?
I think I'm going Caps Vegas. I just believe in this Caps team a lot to respond, but I have a hard time disagreeing with everything you just said.
I know. I think I want to go 2-2 in both. We're getting 2-2 in both.
Yeah.
But I'm more, even though this is insane, because I don't know how many times I have to pick against Connor McDavid before I learn my fucking lesson.
I know.
Yeah. But I'm more concerned. If I'm picking the 2-2, I'm more scared by the Canes. Just to Canes at home or a wagon.
Agree.
Can I ask you guys one question before I go?
Yeah, always.
So I asked you which team is like the most comfortable, or which team you're the most comfortable with. Which team are you most uncomfortable with?
Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, because I love Winnipeg. We've talked all about it. That's my favorite series, Dallas, Winnipeg. I just love both these teams. I love both the fan bases. But take the Hellebuck stuff away. I mean, certainly in round 1, playoff Hellebuck that was a real thing. He was not playing well. He knows it. They knew it. Him on away ice, I just think is you're never comfortable. But that team, making jokes about the Caps, like getting sleepy, that team gets sleepy more than any other team in these playoffs for me. Yep. Like, they get ragdolled in some games. And I just don't understand how they can be that good with that many good players. And sometimes games just look like they're totally out of it. So if I'm a Winnipeg fan, yeah, I'm the least comfortable because I'm just like, I don't know which version of our team is showing up night to night.
Yeah, that's probably the answer. But I will say on your Canes comment, Laz, my honorable mention for most consistent would maybe be the Leafs, actually. In that, even in their losses, they're there. You know, they've been putting up a fight. Like they lost in OT to the Sens, and I guess they got pounded that one Ottawa game.
But last night was the only game where they looked like shit.
Yeah, agree.
You know?
And my honorable mention,
and actually, Wall looked good.
Yeah.
Wall looked good in that game. That was that's kind of the sleeper thing going on about that game.
My honorable mention for inconsistent is actually Vegas, because I think they're so good and should be playing much better than they are, but they vanish within games. Like they literally will have these periods where I'm like, you just dominated for 20 minutes, went to the locker room, came back and got pounded into oblivion. Yeah. So it's very strange the way they play sometimes.
So true.
Good stuff. I like
all right. Well, Laz, we love you. Thanks for popping on. And I'll see you on Thursday.
Love you guys. Yeah, see you Thursday. I'm excited.
Everybody. Okay, so that's closing out that series.
Yep.
Like I said, not must win, but must look different.
Look different. I like that.
Must look different. Series number 3. We just touched on it a little bit. Stars, Jets. Stars take a 2-1 series lead with who else? Another dominant Mikko Rantanen performance. Why don't you tee people off with the Kadri tweet?
Well, okay.
Just talk about what's going on here.
Yeah. So first, actually, I just want to say this for the Winnipeg fans. That had a great game 2. Game 2, big response. They win 4-0. Some really fun goals in that game too. So just like great play. The crowd was going epic. The hockey guys were at that game. They sent us some hilarious pics. Yeah. That was awesome.
Boys looking great as usual.
So they get their win to go 1-1. We come back. Dallas wins at home after a great game. These have been such fun games. I said after game 1.
My favorite series.
What a game.
Series.
Rocket Man.
They're both Rocket Men.
Just awesome. Dude, we're in the stars. Of course it's the best
We're in
series.
Jets in the stars.
Yep. So Stars get the win at home.
Don't shake your head at that, producer Edge.
Stars get the win at home. And after a good 2-2 going into the third, I think. It's this really tight game. It's awesome stuff. Mikko Rantanen continues to be an absolute psychopath. A goal and 2 assists, 3 more points. And the assist on the game winner, the goal on the insurance goal. And then Kadri tweets after the game a picture of himself and Rantanen on the Avs. And I think the tweet says, "That's why you don't get rid of the dogs."
Yeah.
Is that the correct quote? That's why you don't get rid of the dogs.
And then I think he wrote like number 96.
Yes.
The Avs fans are down so bad.
Yeah.
It's awful. We made the revenge tour shirts. And what's funny is we love our Avs fans. You all know that.
Love the Avs.
I think a lot of our Avs fans think it's a shot at them. And obviously it was then his comments. Because we made the shirt before Mikko's comments about saying, I wanted to fucking bury them or something.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa.
Just, hey, relax.
Because he said right after that we made the joke about in our happy hour video, which you should all go watch.
Yes, you should.
He made the joke. He made the comment after that was like, I love them. And this was really hard for me. And then to hear him be like, actually, I was trying to kill them.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I was like, oh, dude.
And again, Avs fans, the revenge tour shirt is more about the haters because he got traded to Carolina and there were some sad Avs fans being like, well, whatever. He's not even that good anyway.
Yeah.
And then he wasn't playing in Carolina and Carolina fans were being like, this guy fucking sucks without McKinnon. And for us, the revenge tour is everyone acting like this guy's not one of the best players in the world. That was the revenge. Now, I will say we have one of our unbelievable fans on our Instagram came in and, we posted something about the fact that he had that 12 points in 3 games. And she was like, well, he'll go cold like he always does. Yeah. And I was like, I don't think he always does that.
Does he?
And then he doesn't have any points in game 2.
Yep.
And, or in the shutout, obviously.
Yeah.
And she was like, what do you know? And then game 3 happened and I was like, careful. And she was like, I'm sorry. I'm dying here. I'm dying. I'm a dying Avs fan. So I think Avs fans are just, it's like your team's out. You guys should be enjoying summer, but this just feels like a constant reminder, getting your nose rubbed in it, which you hate to see.
Well, dude, and not to pile on the Avs fans, I'm gonna see if I can find this fast enough, but we had a buddy text during the game to our prep school thread.
Yeah.
Said, guys, imagine trading Mikko Rantanen. And I piled onto the thread and I go, dude, imagine moving on from Mikko Rantanen for cap concerns. We have to pay Kale. We never could have afforded everybody. One of the Chicklets guys.
Trade the whole team.
Dude.
Trade the whole team except Nate and Kale to make sure you can keep him.
One of the Chicklets
Cap
guys,
problems, get out of here.
dude. One of the Chicklets guys said that should have been the 3. You know, you build around Kale, Nate and Mikko, and that's multiple cups. Multiple cups where you can just keep that core together. The fact that he left and I know they didn't know yet, but the cap going up, all the projections were saying that. The cap going up to historic amounts. And you're like, no, I just needed to get Nate's best friend out of here, who's always produced, literally always. Is mind-blowing to me, dude. and to watch him do this just must kill so bad.
Brutal. Yeah, we're not going to keep harping on the Avs. We'll get into this series. I thought this game was going to be a classic playoff hockey game. Stars go up, Jets tie it. Stars go up, Jets tie it. And Petrovic scores, and it was that weird one, right? That was the foot bounce one.
Dude, yes.
So let's talk about that.
Yep.
I think you were, we're sitting there watching it, and you were like, look at this. And I was like, oh, interesting. I can't believe this is even being talked about. That is a goal.
Okay, well, it clearly was, but the rule, I'm curious about what the rule itself states, like verbatim in the rule book.
Yeah.
Because I'm under the impression.
Let me give you a scenario.
Yeah.
You're the goalie, okay?
Yep.
So I'm skating down on a breakaway.
Yep.
And I've got the puck on my stick.
Yep.
And I flip the puck up.
Yep.
And then I kick it.
Yep.
At you. And it hits you and like kind of rattles around and then goes in. That's not a goal, probably.
Yeah, correct. But Dan, I thought you were about to say this because I actually have a spicy take on this that everybody hates, but this is how I feel. I think if you kick a puck in the net, it shouldn't be a goal.
Yeah.
And that includes it wasn't even a kicking motion. You just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Because that is a goal right now per the rules.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it shouldn't be. You literally went in off a forward skate. If it gets off a defenseman skate, like whatever. And I also think
I want to jump in. I don't think that's that spicy. I get it. I think it's that embodies like the pure nature of the game.
And I guess it's hard because you're like, well, dude, what if the player's literally not even looking? Like the puck ricochets off his skate. I'm like this. Well, it went off his skate. That's no goal. And on top of that, I think that any clear kick that hits something else and then goes in should be a goal because the kick has been negated, dude. Like, so
now we're in hairy waters.
We're in murky waters here. Land,
dude,
because I'm like, and to yours, I think if you kicked it directly on frame, like if I'm the goalie and you kick it right at me and it rolls off my arm, to me that's not a negate because I'm like, that was just it's in the same motion.
Like I said, murky waters.
I know. So now I'm like, oh, it has to be directional change.
Yes.
It's kind of like an own goal rule in soccer.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't on frame.
That's where it gets sketchy, right? Because if I rip a shot and you're standing in front trying to get a tip and it just hits your leg and goes in, you're like, well, that's a deflection.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, well, how is that different from when I throw one maybe wide and a guy's doing this? The stop move.
The stop is ridiculous.
Because you're like, that is a kick.
You're clearly trying to knock.
But I'm like, that's the exact same play that I just said to you.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's the on frame that helps this one.
Yeah.
Because that puck was kicked out into the front of the net.
Like blatantly. He is literally trying to do that. He goes, oh, let me get this out front and kicks
it. And my point is, it's not on net.
Yeah.
He's not kicking that. He's like, get this out in front so someone can touch it. And then Hellebuck puts it in. And you're kind of like, well.
So that's why, for me, in my fucking bizarro fantasy land, I am like, that should be a goal because even though it was a clear kick, it was back out in front and then went knocked in off Helly.
Cole in the chat just said, Petro didn't even kick it in the net. It wasn't going in until Helly hit it. And to me, Cole, 100%
agree. Yeah.
And that is why it's a goal. And it's why I don't even think you can argue it.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. Tiana says the rule is if a puck is kicked and hits the goalie stick and goes in, it doesn't count. But if a player puts the puck in his own net by any means, it counts. Yeah. Okay. I get that. And I guess I'm just curious.
It's the not on. I'm telling you guys, the reason that was called a goal is because the kick was not on net. It's simple. It's very simple. It's a complicated play. But the reasoning is very simple in my opinion. The kick was not on frame. And that's that. You're allowed to kick the puck, guys. You're allowed to kick the puck.
Of course. And so, it's just, I'm kind of surprised. And Freelancer says he's trying to kick it to his stick, which I believe. But he says...
Dylan just said very well, too. Helly swipes at the shot, not a deflection.
Freelancer says he does hit it with his stick, which would definitely negate it. But I don't know if he actually did hit it with his stick. But yeah, I think I'm surprised. I'm happy it was a goal, but I'm surprised because in my mind, any kicking motion, clear kick, whether you're trying to get it to the front or your stick, whatever, any clear kick of the puck that kind of just pinballs in, I've seen in the past them be like, no, because you kicked it and it was just, then it went in the net. But so I was super fine with this goal. I'm sure there are Jets fans that are pissed about it, but I was like, good. And this, not only should that be a goal, or not only was that the correct call, but also that should be the rule. I'm not even pushing for a rule change.
Yeah.
I support that.
That was a goal. And then it's one of those things, you know, I understand that the momentum shifts there, but Rantanen very shortly after that coming down, scoring a nasty goal, just his zone entry, his patience, his shot selection, shot placement. Ridiculous. And then Wyatt Johnson, boom, another goal. It almost felt like those two goals for the Stars was their way of being like, if you weren't comfortable with that goal, here's two more for you. How about that?
Right.
Little aperitif for you. Just fucking deal with it. We're winning this game.
Yeah, they paired their kick in goal with a Rantanen snip job.
So what's tough is I feel bad calling that a tough game for Hellebuck because 808 save percentage in that game. 5 goals on 26 shots. That's a bad game.
And it adds to his
bad,
tally of like, here's another fucking road playoff game where you give up 5 goals.
Right? But it sucks because, you know, through 2, it was just like, it's a 2-2 game. This is a classic playoff game. And then that happens. So it's a little tough, but 0 for 4 on the power play for Winnipeg, 1 for 2 for Dallas. I think Dallas is not just because of being up 2-1 in the series. I think Dallas is in control in this series right now. Now, obviously, you have another game here at home, and that is what I want to talk about next. Man, I have said so many times how much I love both these teams and both these fan bases. I can't imagine. If you're a diehard fan and imagine traveling back and forth. No one's doing that, I can imagine. But I want to quickly take a moment and gas up the city of Dallas.
Oh, okay.
That fucking arena.
Oh, man.
Looks insane.
I want to go there so badly.
The laser show, the green lights, the fans, and Dallas fans. If there are any Dallas fans in the chat, does Dallas have like a Maple Leaf Square? Because they had a watch party
dude, I
going
saw
on.
that on TV too. Yeah.
And that was
cool.
Packed. Packed with Stars fans. Place sounded loud. It looked crazy. Every now and then you get those moments where it looks like the camera is literally shaking on the feed and you're like, good God. So people want to say, you know, you have all these butthurt Canadian fans. Canadians, I love you, but you know what I'm about to say, where people are going, oh, you know, hockey doesn't belong below this line. It doesn't belong in the South, blah, 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 blah. Give me a fucking break, man. That, the airplane hangar, as I like to call it, that barn.
We're seeing PNC Plaza or Victory Plaza. I guess it's probably the same thing.
There
but
you
yeah,
go.
Insane.
PNC, baby. There you go. Thank you, Charles. I am here to say I am desperate to get down there.
It's
that looks like one of the coolest environments I've ever seen. So just tons of stick taps to Dallas fans, to that city, making hockey cool in the South, in the state of Texas. That's so fucking awesome. So it just looks amazing there. And that leads into my point. I do think Dallas has been the better team so far this series. I think they've been one of the more, as we were just talking about with Laz, consistent teams in these playoffs. And what an opportunity they have.
Yeah.
What an opportunity they have at home to go up here.
Boldy, dude, did you see Boldy?
No.
Everyone's just being like, God, Dallas. All the Dallas fans are so happy. Boldy Glazer, screw Dallas. Because Boldy, you're on a kayak, dude.
Boldy
it's okay.
Glazer, he's on a kayak.
Yeah. Actually, being a Minnesota hockey fan, I can respect hating Dallas.
You have to hate
because
Dallas.
they took your team.
You absolutely have to.
That's actually so fine, Pat. I'm so sorry. Couple things for me on that game. Miro is still out. And I'm pissed at him because he's completely fucking up our voodoo doll theory.
Well, we announced the voodoo doll theory, and now someone has tampered with it.
Interesting.
The voodoo. By the way, I fucking love all you guys so much. The amount of voodoo magic reels that have been sent to the Empty Netters channel is hilarious. People are like, "Yep, Dallas."
Yep. So I need that to get sorted because somebody's messing with the voodoo doll and the tiki hut. Someone get into the tiki hut right now and find out what's going on. And also, what is going on with Miro? Because this is bullshit at this point. or it's like complete head game. He was never ready. He's never going to play again.
Yeah.
Because he was in full contact practices before game 5.
I think
in
he
Colorado.
was in. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I was about to mention
Like,
game series 1, round 1.
I'm actually shocked he didn't play against the
Yeah.
Avs. And then now everybody's back. Everybody's back except Miro.
When we get the Miro Heiskanen music, when they go, is that Miro Heiskanen's music?
Yep.
And he starts playing, I think that might be one of the craziest lifts ever for this team.
Oh,
if you put that man back on the ice. But as I've said so many times, I tweeted out during that game, Thomas Harley is a goddamn dog.
he's so good, dude.
Can you imagine? I'm so jealous of teams sometimes. I'm so jealous when, the Oilers, you've got Connor McDavid and then Leon Draisaitl is just there as well. And you're like, what the hell is going on here? Another great one, Minnesota, Boldy Glazer. When you've got Faber.
Yeah.
And you extend him, and then Zeev is just
shows up
too.
and I'm like, what?
And this Dallas team, we saw it happen last year, but this Dallas team having Miro Heiskanen, who I think is one of the best defensemen in the NHL, and then Thomas Harley is just there as well.
Yeah.
And he gets his call up to Four Nations when Shea Theodore goes down. He plays so well. He's just been great 2 years in a row. And now here, another playoff coming out party here. What a treat. What an absolute pleasure it must be having both those guys on your team.
And I will say you have a similar, I don't want to overgas. Yeah. I don't want to overboost, but you have a similar dynamic duo in Winnipeg because Pionk has been incredible,
so good
with all year, but with Morrissey missing some time. And then Morrissey
he's so
nasty. So good. It's fucking insane watching it. Like, he gets back in the game and I was like, oh yeah, that'll be a boost for them. And then you watch him play and I'm like, oh my God, dude.
You know what my favorite
thing
is?
Wild.
My favorite thing about Josh Morrissey is I think he is objectively an offensive defenseman. He moves the puck really, really well. He's got incredible vision. Also has a great goal scoring touch. He will lay wood so unexpectedly. Dude. You'll be down low, and it's not even those open ice where he's got to look, because he's a great skater. I think a lot of people, sometimes you'll see a smaller defenseman. You see it with Quinn Hughes a lot. A smaller defenseman who hits really well and you're surprised by it. It's a lot of it has to do with the momentum you get because you're such a strong skater. Strong on your feet. You also move really quick, get low, use your legs. Morrissey will lay wood in the corner digging for pucks. Yeah. Like, he will staple someone. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? But he's just a bigger body than people expect. He's such a good player.
While moving like a Quinn Hughes on the blue line. Still.
Yes.
Exactly. Like the way he can manipulate the puck and his hips at the blue line and the vision, the backdoor shit. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? He is like a game changer in the exact definition of that term.
So closing out this series, we obviously don't play till tomorrow night, but I think Otter's technically winning the goalie battle right now.
Yep.
Obviously, Dallas, great shutout in game 2, and that was big. And big goal scorers for Winnipeg in that game, too. Your big boys went.
Yep.
Kyle Connor's buzzing still. Scheifele's buzzing.
So good, dude.
What do you think right now? Do you feel like this is Dallas' series to lose?
No. Okay. I think Jets win game 4, and I love it. I think this is going 7.
Yep. Me too.
And it's going to be an awesome game. And every game in this series is going to be amazing.
But I do think we're getting very close to the return of Heiskanen. So I do want people to keep those antennas up.
I hope so, dude. He's pissing me off. He's now pissed me off.
Let's get into it.
Yep.
Let's get into what everyone is waiting for. Panthers, Maple Leafs, shutout for Bob. The Cats woke up.
Yeah. And I will say, though, barely, because game 3, we were like, I was talking to so many people saying this was going to be, this could so easily become 2-2. Panthers are going to still be so much better at home. It's going to be amazing. And it was gorgeous here this weekend. So we were like, all right, let's go to a bar in Santa Monica right by the beach to watch the Panthers game, Panthers-Leafs game. Yeah. A bunch of hockey boys coming. Everybody posted up. As everybody knows, trying to get a group together, sometimes it takes a second. You can be a little late, find it at the table, all that shit. I walk into the bar, 25 seconds late. Bang, 1-0 Leafs. Yeah. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, dude. They're relentless. And the fact that they went up 2-0 and 3-1, two goal leads in that game.
Oh, it felt over. It felt over.
or I was like, this Panthers team, Bob is dead. This Panthers team is dead. And they have no fight left in them. They have no bite, no scratch. What do cats do? They scratch you?
Yeah,
they have no scratch left in them.
Yeah.
And they did. And I give them a lot of credit for that. But in the moment, they were scratchless.
Yeah.
They got declawed. That happens. I think you can like declaw a cat.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, do you take?
I don't know,
Maybe.
actually. That might have been made up. But I feel like you maybe could.
That would kill them if you took their claws literally out.
Like, no.
Trim them.
Yeah.
I said series don't start. I'm acting like this is a term I made up. But I kept hammering.
Yep.
Series don't start till someone loses at home.
Yep.
And hot damn, they made it close.
Oh, yeah. It looked like
they made it close. And you know what? I'm on the Cats bandwagon. Meow, meow.
Yeah.
But they were still sleepy in game 3. They were making mistakes that we weren't seeing them make in round 1. And your comment, your theory, did this team tire themselves out, felt very possible, felt very real.
Yep.
That they were just exhausted. And let's give the flowers where they are deserved. Toronto looks awesome. They look awesome. Willie Nylander, absolute dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's so fucking good. I think Marner's been playing great too. But that game was just sketch. It was as sketch as it gets. And I won't lie, Tavares getting that power play goal right off the bat in the second, I was like, fuck me.
Yep.
This is, you are not feeling good right now. But what did we say going into this game? Rhino's got to get going. Verhaeghe's got to get going. And then bang, bang. Rhino, Verhaeghe. They get those goals. They tie it up. And even with Riley, that Riley goal was kind of sketch.
That
right?
was 4-4.
Yeah.
Emergency response team Leafs in action.
Emergency response Leafs. But it looked like that one went in, and I was like, okay, Bob's getting it a little bit. After the third goal, it felt like Bob locked down for the rest of that second period. That one went in, and he looked pissed. I actually, what I thought? Hill. On the
McDavid
McDavid goal, the way he reacted wasn't like it was like fuck that. Like I'm dialed. I'm feeling it again.
Yeah.
I thought Bob did that on the Riley goal. Bob was kind of like, that was bullshit. But who fucking else?
Dude, well, it was
who else?
Yep.
But Brad.
I will say that third period we're in game 3 right now. That third period felt like the Panthers were like, we're gonna win. Because they were up.
Yeah.
But they were only up a goal. But it was like, the Leafs aren't really threatening. We're going to win. And then that one bounced in. And it was all of a sudden like, uh-oh, dude, you might lose now.
Yeah.
Like, didn't they get a power play, dude? Wasn't there a Panthers power play like with the last 2 minutes of the game, remember?
Yeah, I think that's right. It just shit ice, but
yeah, so
let me check.
So they got a power play with literally like 1 minute and 58 seconds left in the third period. So they spent the whole...
No, that's right. Patches took a tripping penalty.
Yeah.
At 18-13.
So I was like, here you go, dude.
Yeah.
And then they didn't score there. And I was like, you know what? I think you accidentally played with your food a little bit here down the stretch. And I know that was an unlucky goal, but now you're going to lose. And now you're down 3-0 and the series is over.
Yep.
And then, as you said, who else? Brad Marchand, everybody. That was fucking hilarious too. Because actually, shout out to one of my boys who's a big Cats fan. He had texted me that in the second period, he texted me, it's going to be 4-3 Cats after 2 when it was 3-1. And I was like, that's a crazy call.
Yep.
And then it was. And then the Leafs tied it. And I go, who's going to win it? Or no, the Leafs tied it. And he goes, it's going to be 5-4 Marshy in overtime.
Yeah, he did.
And then that also happened. And
Shout
I was
out
like,
Dan.
Bro. But Merles was on it. Like so many people, just because it was almost like it was meant to be. That you were just like, if this game's going to OT, obviously Marchand's going to do it.
No question about it. And it felt too, this feels so, I don't want to say Leafs are going to leave because you haven't been doing that this year.
Yeah.
But it did feel very much like, okay, if this series is going to get tied up, wouldn't it be perfect if it happened in back-breaking fashion with an OT loss at the hands of Brad Marchand when it felt like you were about to go up 3-0?
Yeah.
That is, of course, how this happens. And like I said, with that goal for Riley, when it felt like Bob was pissed, I thought Bob was fantastic in that overtime. There were some serious chances, serious chances. He made some huge saves. He made a couple, one breakaway save and then one remarkable 2-on-1 save.
Yeah.
And then, Brad, just what do we keep saying? Throw it on the cage. Throw it on the cage. Mm-hmm. That's what Brad Marchand did, got the huge win, see the huge silly. And then we head to game 4. And this was an interesting one because I want to give tons of stick taps to Joe Woll.
Dude.
He was fantastic.
Oh, my God.
Joe Woll was fantastic in this game. He had 37 shots against and only 2 in, 9.46 save percentage, phenomenal.
That was the guy that you in Toronto named your starter for the season. Like most
paid
people
him
forget that Stoli was the backup, and it was a tandem. It's the Swayman Allmark thing, but it was a tandem this year. But Wall's getting more games. Wall's the guy that they expected to be, and still expect, by the way, to be their goalie of the future. That dude you saw right there, that's him. That's the dude you saw in the playoffs last year against the Bruins. He's dope. So that this series has become so, especially if Vegas wins tonight, so funny. The mirror situation where one team, the team kind of most people were picking against, win the first two, obviously home and road different, but then their goalie gets hurt. Mm-hmm. The other guy goes in, and now the other team has come back. Mm-hmm. So it's been funny to watch that, but this was not on Joe Woll at all.
No doubt about it. First period goal for Verhaeghe going again. Again, this is if you're the Panthers, if you're this Panthers team, if you're the fans, fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic that your guys are scoring again.
Dude, Robert says you can absolutely declaw cat. Hell yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Declaw cats.
Thank you, Robert.
That better be a house cat.
Yeah.
Otherwise they're fucked.
Yeah.
So you have Verhaeghe going, you get that goal, but then it's a burner, right? It's back and forth. We actually, I think it was the second period, Willie Nylander got a breakaway, and my guy, Gustav Forsling, so there's a reason he wins most fit player every spring or every fall leading into the season. Mm-hmm. Like he is a horse. Chased Willie down, made a great play, didn't take a penalty. But it felt to me, and I'm curious, I'm sure Cats fans were sweating the whole game. Watching it, I was not worried. Bob looked so locked.
Yep.
And this was the first game in this series, without a doubt, that we've seen the Florida D, right?
Yep.
The Florida D that's brought them to 2 straight cups. This was their first really great game. I think it was 23 shots on the game for Toronto. They were clogging the box. They were really preventing lots of neutral zone breakouts. No turnovers like we saw in games 1 and 2, and it changed everything. And yeah, they is he? It looks like Laz is trying to pop back in.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, I thought the game was so in control. And then Bennett obviously scores that disgusting goal.
Dude, I want to talk about Sam Bennett, and if Laz wants to join, get him in.
Right now.
It's also Jack. Jack just killed me with this. He goes, "Can we address that the Cats fans are chanting USA like both their goals came from Canadians and their Russian monster saved their ass?" And I do love that.
Last time I checked, Florida was in USA. USA.
I do love an American. I remember the Bruins, when the Bruins were playing the Canucks in 11. There were so many USA chants in Boston, and the Bruins at the time had the most Canadian roster in the league.
It's always hysterical. It actually, I think it cracks me up.
Okay, Laz might be gone, but Laz, if you're listening, jump on whatever you want. This Sam Bennett thing, Dan, I watched that goal, and I admit 100% till the last couple years, I wasn't watching a ton of Sam Bennett hockey.
Yeah.
You know, like he was a high pick that what maybe wasn't like this.
Had to change his game a little bit.
Exactly. That became like a more physical, tough guy. And I was like, whatever, dude. And when they make their run 2 years ago, you kind of become more aware of him. And then watching, there's obviously so many Marshy comps. We're like, he's a goon, he's a rat. But I'm like, well, he's productive. He almost like right in front of my eyes, or maybe he always has been the whole time, in fairness to him, and I just haven't noticed.
Yeah.
He isn't a tough physical guy that can get you a goal every now and then. He is gross at hockey. Like he is so good,
dude,
at controlling the puck, stick handling, shooting, everything that he does out there. I'm like, what the fuck? Who is ever like, this guy is, and it's like when Marshy took that jump to a 100-point guy out of nowhere.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck? I swear to God, we're watching this. How old is he?
Sam Bennett is, well, here's what I want to say about, he's 28 years old. What I wanted to say, I don't want to cut you off because you're on a roll, you're buzzing. Sam Bennett is he was on Calgary.
Yep.
And was in a situation, you mentioned this all the time.
Yeah.
He was in a situation where he was a great player. There wasn't room on the roster for him to break into the top 6. Mm-hmm. And then he comes over to Florida, and in another situation, there wasn't really room for him to be on the top 6. But you see in this season, in 4 years in Florida, 71 games, 49 points, 63 games, 40 points, 69 games, 41 points. Then this past season, 76 games, 51. and 25 goals this year too.
But dude,
he scored 28 goals in 21-22. Like you're right. He is a very high skilled player, but he is. So many people want to call him a rat. So many people want to be like, oh, he's such a scumbag, blah, 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 blah. And we defend him all the time because, guys, he's a Tom Wilson. He's a Brad Marchand. He is this type of guy that, sure, if you're playing against him, you talk shit. You think he's so dirty. You think he's this. You think he's that. Teammates love him. Coaches love him because he's the most for the cause guy who has ever lived on earth.
My job.
Dude. Truly, man.
Yeah.
And he saw a role on this Panthers team. He did it perfectly, and it's brought them to 2 straight cups and won one of them. And if you remember, 4 Nations, when he was called for that team, John Cooper gave him a call, said he was going to make this roster. And John Cooper told him, he was like, hey, like, I don't know how much you're going to play. I don't know exactly what your role is going to be. And Sam Bennett cut him off and said, if you tell me right now I will never dress, I will not play, I'm still coming.
Yep.
Like, that is who Sam Bennett is. And that is why this summer there's going to be a line around the fucking block of teams offering him a contract because this is what he does.
And dude, I think and Tom Wilson had such a good year this year, 33 and 32 for 65 points. And I love Willie. He's my guy, dude. But
AM just said 0 chance Zito lets Benny leave, and I completely agree.
Yeah,
with that,
but I was going to say, I genuinely feel like Sam Bennett is trending towards exceeding a Tom Wilson. Like right now, they're like, God, he's turning into a Tom Wilson. I'm like, I think he's turning into even more than that. He's only 2 years younger, but it's crazy. Look at this, dude. His playoffs, you just were reading his points, right? In the regular season, Bennett's, and they're fine, right? Like he hasn't had any monster years yet, really. He's got a great goal record, like you said. But dude, go all the way back to every time he's ever been in the playoffs. First year ever, he's 18. 4 points in 11 games, but then 2 points in 4 games, 5 points in 5 games, 8 points in 10 games, 5 points in 5 games, 3 points in 10 games that 2 Florida years ago, 15 and 20, 14 and 19, and 8 and 9 so far this year. He's damn near a point per game guy in the playoffs the whole time.
Shows up.
Like even when he wasn't doing anything in the regular season. So I am just in awe. This is too boosty now, but I'm like in awe of Sam Bennett's play. Like that goal, I was like, dude, you're nasty.
It was so
I can't
nasty.
believe this.
But it's also, this is his game, right? Like you're in my world now.
Yeah,
the ice gets a little smaller, like you talked about with Nate, just like maybe guys like that. We're in the mud now. Yep. And he is like, well, good news. I am the creature from the fucking Blue Lagoon. Yeah. I am going to murder all of you. This is where he thrives, dude. Yep. He was born in the dark, and this is great for him. And as I gave Dallas a ton of love for their fans, we got to show it up to Amaranth again. You know, Sunrise, the people of Sunrise, it's another one of these things. You want to talk shit about Florida. You want to make those all 6 of us comments, unironically, actually being like, Florida fans, they don't even know hockey. Look at the videos. I'm looking at one right now of Twitter. That place was going fucking berserk. Rats on the ice, towels waving. I mean, guys in the league, no one wants to go and play there. And that was a huge, huge response, huge performance from Bob.
Yep.
And I think we saw, and you mentioned it earlier, we saw the first game for me where I was like, Toronto, that was you got beat up there. Now, obviously, game 5 is going to be huge going back home.
Okay, agree. Yep.
But that was big. And I'm going to give you the floor, but I do want to talk about Matthews a little bit.
Okay.
So should I go?
Yeah,
just get into it?
Yep.
Austin Matthews is, in my opinion, laboring. I think something's wrong. I think he's carrying an injury that we don't know about that's been is undisclosed. Just a few things for Matthews. Matthews currently has less goals than Cole Caulfield in these playoffs.
Yeah.
He has less goals than 8 different players on the Oilers. He is getting a Lundell matchup, and Lundell is one of the best defensive centers in the game. Don't get me wrong, but he's not really getting matched up against Barkov that much in this series so far. It's mostly Lundell, and he's still been very, very quiet. And this Leafs team has been doing phenomenally. They look great. They look stronger than they've ever looked, in my opinion. I think there is a point where if you are getting paid what you're getting paid, if you're talked about the way you're talked about, injury or not, there is definitely a bit of a freak out going on amongst fans. And maybe in that locker room where you're like, it'd be fucking great if Austin was going. It'd be fucking great.
Yep.
So that's something to discuss.
And it is. And it's interesting though, because he has 10 points. He's a point per game. He has 8 assists, right? So it's not like he's gone, which we've seen stars do before, you know, where you go, major guys sometimes just completely vanish in playoffs, have no points, and not contributing in any way, shape, or form. Austin Matthews, to not chirp, is producing. He has 10 points in 10 games. He is winning every fucking faceoff that has ever been taken in the history of a hockey game. He's always been a good defensive forward, right? A sneaky good defensive forward. He's doing
very
a lot.
sneaky, Chris. That's so true. Like he's always getting Selke voids.
He's doing a lot out there. So he's not having a bad playoff.
Yeah.
But you're right. When you're a fucking 70 goal guy, it's like it kind of gets in the room. It's like in the ether of the room at times where you're like, you got to score a goal, dude. Like you're fucking Austin Matthews. Like you have the best shot I've ever seen.
Hey, look at me. You got to
score a goal. And thanks for the assist and thanks for the draws. Thanks for snapping it back. But I also need you to fucking rip one into the net. Yeah. I want to talk a couple more Leafs things. The good news, even though you lost, and this is a nightmare, and it's 2-2, and oh my God, you did not get bodied. This was their worst game, but they're in it. I thought the Panthers were 1 for 6 on the power play. I thought you did a great job. I thought your goalies, no matter who you have, look great still, and you had chances, right? So if I'm Toronto, this isn't like holy fuck collapse city. You're in a fucking bloodbath. Would you think you were going to roll on the Panthers? Like, come on.
Yep.
I know it felt good being up 2-0, but this is the Panthers and this is the playoffs. So that's what you're dealing with here. Matthews is around the goal. Someone in the chat, it's going so fast right now, but someone said he's missing the net a lot, which he is.
Yeah.
But it's like he's getting shots. You know, he has the puck on his stick and high danger chances. I like all that. Here's my one question. The antics at the end of the game. Max Domi comes in, bodies Barkov from behind.
Which, by the way, it's been announced $5,000 maximum fine, no game suspension.
No suspension. And I didn't want him to get one.
Neither do I, because I don't like suspensions. I'll be honest, I'm shocked. That was the most there is literally, we always talk about, is it a hockey player or not?
Yeah.
There is literally nothing he could have been doing there other than going, I'm going to bury Barkov from behind into the boards here.
And Dan, from so far away.
So far.
That's what was crazy to me, where he was like, Barkov, there's no turn. There's no last second turn. It's literally, he's just standing like
end of the game.
Game over.
2-0, end of the game.
Oh, yeah. Domi goes flying.
I am shocked that that's not a suspension.
And it wasn't, to be fair to Domi and all the Leafs fans, it wasn't like a runaway freight train hit. He hit him hard. I'm not trying to act like that was nothing.
It's just stupid.
It was so dumb.
That's
what I couldn't believe. I was like, what are you doing? And here's what I never know, dude. I never know the answer to this. And I know what Berube would say. So maybe he loves that play.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm like, I don't think you needed that. Like, what message do you think you just sent where you're like, oh, now the Panthers are going to know that we can rough them up? Where in reality, I'm like, no, now they're just pissed. And Matthew, fake or not fake, Matthew gets to do his bullshit now to the bench when he's like, here comes the elbow, like exactly what he was doing.
Yeah. I mean, CP, what
Hagel?
I was going to bring up what happened when Hagel popped Barkov.
So I'm like, dude, we need it. What was the motivation there to think? And remember Jets? I said this.
Also, stop doing it to Barkov.
Yeah, dude, poor guy.
God, Jesus Christ. He's like the nicest guy, most respected guy in the league, definitely on that team. And teams just keep running this guy.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
And dude, remember the Jets? Some people in the chat, OG chat people will remember when I said the Jets, when they lost game 3 to St. Louis, had a million fights in the last 2 minutes. And I was like, grow up, dude. Like, you lost. Yeah. I know you're trying to send a message for next game, but you fucking lost, and now you're embarrassing yourself. This is in that territory for me, where I'm like, yo, you lost 2 games. We're in a dogfight now. This game is over. Yeah. You've played your worst game. I don't need you to run Barkov from behind at the buzzer. Yeah. Just to what? Be like, we're not going anywhere. And I'm like, well, we're going somewhere. We're going back to Toronto 2-2. That's where we're going.
Yeah.
So, and now Matthew's doing his thing. Yeah. So that, I did not approve of that message.
I do not approve of
Max Domi, just because it was not needed, dude. It was not needed. Just go back. Just go back to the locker room and be like, we're better than them. It's okay. We lost these 2 games. We're going to Toronto. We can win in Toronto. We're fine.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I've never really been a huge fan of that the bullshit. If you're losing, I think it's bulletin board material. Something that I think is really interesting. We were talking about Matthews. I'm going to take an S off of that and talk about Matthew. I think Matthew Tkachuk is a guy that some people have been like, oh, Tkachuk's been quiet. He's got 8 and 9, which surprised me.
Yeah, but it's the same as Matthews, right? He's got 3 goals, which is
3 goals, 5
more.
assists, 8 and 9.
But it's a similar Matthews scoring line where I'm like, ooh, score more.
He's another one where, I am like, he's talking that shit. And he's a guy, when he was scoring all those OT fucking absolute spine
Boston
goals,
10.
that is where if Matthew Tkachuk starts scoring while beaking, this series is over.
And that's what he did in Tampa.
Yeah.
Like he came out and after all that shit and then scored immediately, like his 3 goals were like right after that.
I'm telling you, at game 5 in Toronto, if Matthew Tkachuk scores a goal, I am mortified. Truly mortified.
And I want to say too, I know there's a ton of Toronto fans in here, especially our boy Jack. This is a chippy series. I don't want to act like, Max Domi's running people. Ekblad's swinging elbows because that's his game. Yep. Sam Bennett's hitting people hop high. That's his game. So this is a chippy series, and it's going to remain a chippy series.
Yep.
Especially because of what happened at the end of game 4.
Yeah, 100%. So series tied up, unbelievable stuff. What are your closing thoughts as we wrap up this episode, as we wrap up this series?
I'm super excited that this series went this way because it's awesome now.
It's just
awesome
great.
Now
it's better for hockey.
Okay, home teams are winning. Both teams believe they can win in either direction, and you're getting great goalie play. Or you are now, hopefully, from Bob. The Toronto goalies have been great the whole time, I feel like. Even though they've given up some goals in games, I think the goalies have been really good. So I'm super excited about that. I'm loving, God, if we can go 2-2, in both tonight, then we're laughing.
Chris, I'm salivating. I feel like a dog in heat, thinking about the possibility of 2-2 in both these series.
It's amazing.
Be incredible.
So it's been really good. And some great storylines, man. Some great storylines. This one is going to be a tilt right to the end.
Unbelievable. Huge episode. Great stuff in the chat today, guys. Great stuff from you.
Chat fine. Great stuff from you. Great stuff from Edge.
Great stuff from Edge.
Edge was actually battling today.
He really was.
We just put him through so much shit.
Eddie joins, Ryan joins, Laz joins last minute. Guys, if you haven't noticed, we've got unbelievable gear on right now.
Come on.
Look at CP's Netter's Bear. The t-shirt is sick. It's such a sweater, but the t-shirt is sick.
Yeah.
Like that's such a good vibe for the summer. And then obviously I had to create the Rink Rat shirt. We got so much good stuff in the store. Panthers fans, I know you're in the chat. That elbow room tee is phenomenal. We've got the Revenge Tour Miko tee. We've got all this fun stuff. Check out the links in our bios on Instagram, Twitter, everything. You'll see the Friday Beer shop. You'll see all these cool designs. Grab some merch. Subscribe to the YouTube. I know a lot of you beauties in this chat right now aren't even subscribed yet. You got to just check. You got to click that subscribe button. Follow us on all the socials. Keep following us along. We're going to have the podcast recording late tonight after the games.
We're recording late tonight because they were asking about bingo. We're recording tonight, so no bingo tonight. We'll do bingo on Tuesday because we won't be recording Tuesday. So we'll see you there. And Ty wants a nail shirt. We do have to make one.
We do have to make a nail shirt. We got to figure it out what it is, Ty, but we'll do a nail shirt. Done and done. All right, guys, we love you. Great show today. Thank you all so much for being in the chat.